The integral of the square root of 11 minus 4x squared dx. The goal is to do a trig substitution, basically replace the 4 and the x squared with 11 sine squared. But the way to do that is, well, first you want to cancel out the 4, so we have to put inside a 1/2 quantity squared, because when I square the 1/2 it cancels out with the 4. And then we're going to put the square root of 11, because when I square the 11, that's going to be 11 over here, which is going to factor outside, and then sine. So we let x equal 1/2 square root of 11 sine u. So dx is 1/2 square root of 11 cosine u du. We'll substitute that in. And now what we do is we square the 1/2 square root of 11, that becomes 11 over 4. Sine square that becomes sine squared, and then we just factor out the 1/2 square root of 11, put that in front over here. So now we cancel out the 4, and the next step we can factor out the two 11s here, and then we'll bring it outside. We'll bring this as a square root of 11, so we'll multiply this square root of 11, which will just turn into 11. Now we know that 1 minus sine squared is equal to cosine squared, so we'll replace that, and then taking the square root of cosine squared is just cosine. Cosine times cosine is cosine squared, which we can rewrite it as 1 plus cosine 2u over 2. And this 2 will come outside, multiply the 1/2 there, so that turns into 11/4 integral 1 plus cosine 2u du. If we integrate 1, it becomes u. The antiderivative of cosine 2u is sine 2u over 2. So recall that sine 2u is 2 sine u cosine u, and the 2's are going to cancel. But we had said that sine u is equal to 2x over the square root of 11, which if we look at a right triangle, call this u, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Pythagorean theorem says this is square root 11 minus 4x squared. So if I want to solve for u over here, I'm going to have to undo the sign by applying the inverse sign to both sides. So we get u is inverse sine of 2x over the square root of 11. And then sine u is opposite over hypotenuse, which we have here is 2x over square root of 11. And then cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. That's a square root of 11 minus 4x squared over square root of 11 plus RC. So just to be clear, this is what we're talking about. Now we just need to simplify it. The first thing is simplifying square root of 11 times square root of 11. That's just 11. So just bring this all under one fraction. And then finally, what we could do is just distribute the 11/4. And this is our final answer.